Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an impromptu edition of, we got 18 minutes before the show. Before the show. You're welcome to the show. Got 18 minutes before the game starts. Welcome to the Denver Bronco Roundup, brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, or presented by the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, and sponsored by Willow Seasonings and Blends. I'll get that all up here just in a second, guys. I just wanted to get on here, kind of get ideas out there of what we should expect in this preseason game, game one. And I want to get your guys' thoughts, your guys' ideas. I have what I want, what I think we should expect, in this preseason game one. I was there for 5 days down at training camp down at Dove Valley. It was a fantastic experience. Loved every minute of it. Got to even talk to a few players, and I can talk a little bit about that and get to some comments as well. So let's see. We got Dreamweaver saying, "Sup, boys? How y'all doing?" Well, riding solo there, Dreamweaver, but I appreciate you being here and appreciate you jumping in the comments. Like I said, we only got about 17 minutes before, kickoff happens for Denver Broncos versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I just want to get in here, get some ideas, get some thoughts, get some expectations, and let's see what you guys are thinking, because I got plenty of ideas. Dreamweaver saying, I see us playing starters for 2 series and we get 2 touchdowns. I love it, man. That's exactly what we'd like to see, because that's part of what we're looking for as Facebook user comes in. And I'll try to jump in the comments and see exactly who we have jumping in for everybody. And I apologize because I'm jumping in and you can probably hear my background noise, but it's all right. I'm trying to get caught up on a little bit of comments here. So anyway, let's go. Peyton Era starts tonight. Of course I should have known who that was. Mr. Kurt Valente, and I appreciate it, Kurt, jumping in here. We're talking about expectations coming into tonight. So like I said, a few things that I just had written down. First and foremost, one thing that I think you'll be able to see is that this offense is going to break the huddle, and I want to count how many times they get up to the line of scrimmage, where they're up to the line of scrimmage with 15 seconds left on the clock. 15 seconds left on the clock to go ahead, and if there was any motions, they can put motions in. If they need to identify the defense, they can do so. If they need to check, they can do so. Something that we certainly didn't see under Hackett, as obviously we had countdowns happening in games. I think we're going to see the exact opposite of that, and that's the first expectation I have for us this evening. Another thing that I thought was really, really interesting, I've been listening to almost every single presser. I'll be honest, I got a little bit behind, need to get a little bit caught up. But when Lloyd Cushenberry came out, one of the things that he said is this group, we expect to lead the way. We expect this offensive line group. Now, I know that we're going to be down a little bit. Mike McGlinchey is out. But that being said, this offensive line group is expected to lead the way. And it starts tonight, guys. Starts with, I don't care if it's starters, I don't care if it's backups, because some of those backups might need to be brought into the fold. I think of guys like Calvin Anderson, who might be, who knows, playing what position for us. Mike McGlinchey is out with that sprained knee. He's going to be out for a few weeks, so obviously we're going to see guys right off the bat. They're going to be backups and playing. This offensive line needs to play as a group, and I expect them to do so tonight. If we want, these are the expectations I have. If we really expect this offense, this team to be playing as we expect them to be playing throughout the season, right? So I want your guys' ideas too. If you have any thoughts of what you expect, of what you're looking at, I'm going to keep going down my list. Quick decisions by Russell Wilson was my next one. I need him to be making not only quick decisions, but I need him to make sure he's going through his progressions. That's something that we didn't see last year. It's something that we've seen him maybe battle at the very first part of camp, especially when I was there in the first 5 days. Now, that being said, he's kind of turned things around. Things have looked better, though I haven't been there. That's what I've heard. So I'm expecting to see him make quick decisions and be able to get through some of his progressions. That being said, I want him to stay in the pocket or step up. No more of this wandering around aimlessly in the back or in the backfield. what we're worried about, guys, is Russell Wilson has to change some habits, right? He needs to take that. He needs to take that next step, take that training that he's had in training camp, and institute it within the football game. Tonight's that first night, so I don't want him getting freaked out and kind of meandering aimlessly through in that pocket, doubling back out of pressure and trying to get out of that pressure by doing so. He needs to be able to step up in the pocket. He needs to be able to continue to go through his reads. He needs to be able to deliver the ball on time. I also want to just look at a couple of things, guys, just because of what I saw in training camp in those first 5 days and something that even continued afterwards. A, the number of batted passes he has tonight, and B, the number of interceptions he has, especially if it happens to come to a safety. As we all know, Justin Simmons was taking advantage of Russell Wilson, and so we need him to be able to identify that safety pressure, that safety, in coverage, I should say, and know that he's lurking and that he can't fit it into that window if he can't fit it into that window. I think he's been doing great in identifying the wide receiver versus the corner coverage. The next step is making sure he identifies that safety and that, that safety doesn't come crashing down, cause an interception, much like we saw in training camp. That being said, I was just watching, who was it? The Cincinnati Bengals were just on TV. I was watching right before I came on, and I forget who they were playing, but 2 interceptions apiece by the time I came on air. So don't want to see that from Russell Wilson. Don't have a whole lot of time. If you guys have thoughts, again, get them in the comments. Love to get your ideas as well. We got a few viewers that are jumping in and out, and a few viewers probably getting ready for the game. So I don't mind that at all. So 2-minute offense is one thing that Sean Payton has been stressing throughout this entire training camp. It's one thing that I think that we'll see, that we need to see, both on offense and on defense, be adequate, if not better. There's so much stress he's put on this team regarding that 2-minute drill, regarding how they function. As he said, knowing that 2 yards is not worth the time or the timeout that we might need to take in those situations. Seeing how they function in that 2-minute drill situation, both on offense and on defense, that'll be very interesting. Courtland Sutton has been named as a guy that's looked completely different. Looks like the old Courtland Sutton. I think that's been the narrative. Take a quick sip here. Thank you. Courtland Sutton, if he is looking like old Courtland Sutton, I want to see a little bit of Courtland Sutton, vintage Courtland Sutton tonight. I want to see him fight for a ball. I want to see him to go up. That would be my ultimate. Now again, as someone jumped in before, I think it's about 2 series. Dreamweaver came in a little bit earlier. I see us playing starters for 2 series, so I don't know, and 2 touchdowns. So if that's the case, and we certainly have an opportunity for Courtland Sutton to maybe be fighting for one of those balls and getting that score or getting that vintage look to Courtland Sutton, I guess is the best way to put it. So I would love to see that. Another guy that I just want to see, Brandon Johnson, obviously was a little bit injured from all reports. I believe he's supposed to be playing. If anybody knows any different, please let me know. But he was a key piece in this offense. So we need to make sure that as Tim Patrick went down and Brandon Johnson went in, we need to see if he fills that role, see how he's doing in this offense, and that'll lead me to a few other pieces. I also want to take a look and see how little Jordan Humphreys and Marquez Callaway is doing tonight. Those are 2 guys that Sean Payton called out in a press conference. Little Jordan Humphreys and Marquez Callaway. If Brandon Johnson especially is playing, he's only going to play for a couple of series. Marquez Callaway and little Jordan Humphreys are going to have some opportunities. It's imperative that they take advantage of those opportunities if they want to stay on this roster, and maybe even as a possibility, as again, Sean Payton has called him out, and there's other guys rising. Another couple other names in that wide receiver group that we obviously want to take a look at. Marvin Mims, our 3rd-round draft pick. This is a guy that's already been labeled as the kick returner, punt returner, and we should see him, taking on those duties this evening. But even more so, we should see him in the offense this evening and see how he's functioning as well. So Marvin Mims, obviously we need him to step up. Who knows what the offseason is going to bring, if Cortland Sutton is still around, if Tim Patrick is brought back, if Brandon Johnson makes that progression and it's a guy that we want to keep on our roster. Marvin Mims is a 3rd-round draft pick. We want to see what he's doing as well. I want to see, I'll round out the wide receivers. Taylor Grimes, who was absolutely amazing in training camp. Taylor Grimes, number 13. Keep an eye on him. And then, honestly, we know Javonte Williams is supposed to be 100% healthy. Should be playing a little bit. Would love to see a fantastic Javonte Williams get a good couple of runs in. Obviously, Samaje Perine is going to be that RB1/RB2 on this roster, along with Javonte Williams. But that RB3 is one that's really, really interesting. Tyler Beatty's in there. Tony Jones Jr. is in there. McLaughlin is in there. And McLaughlin, I thought, was looking the best, but doesn't show that as far as the roster depth is concerned. So looking at RB3, need to look at that. On the defensive side of things, as we only have a few minutes to wrap things up, guys, I just want to say this. I think this applies on both on offense and defense. We need to look at the trenches and see how those guys are doing. These guys, both on the offense and defensive side of things, I think have something to prove. That defense needs to be able to show that they can stop the run. This offensive line obviously needs to show just about everything, whether it's opening holes on the offensive line, whether it's protecting Russell Wilson. Watch the trenches, guys, and that goes for, again, not only the starters, but the backups. We'll have to rely on those guys not only throughout the season, but as rotation as well. Tight end coverage is something that we've always kind of struggled with, and that kind of leads me to another guy on the defensive side of things, Drew Sanders. Love to see him go out there and have a night, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that because, again, he's a little bit laid up. So Facebook user coming in here, and I apologize. I'm not going to look at comments because I'm looking at my notes, but go Broncos 100%. We got about 5 minutes to kick off, guys. A few other names that I want to look at on just on defense across the board, the number 2s. We're very, very strong as far as our our number 1s, especially along that front line. What do our number 2s look like? We look really good in our number 1s at our linebacking core. What do our number 2s look like? Cornerbacks, safeties, and the like. We have the possibility of being a top 5 defense in this league, but it's also going to depend on what our number 2s are capable of doing. So we'll be able to get a good look at that. Art Green, a guy, a cornerback that we've brought in, haven't heard a whole lot about. I'm going to be watching for Art Green on this. And then Damari Mathis. Damari Mathis is one guy I got to talk to at training camp. One thing he said to me, I said, Damari Mathis, I'm expecting big things. He says, you can expect big things, and you're going to get big things. So I'm going to be watching Damari Mathis just because of that. To wrap it up, guys, because we only have a few moments left before the show starts, Kenny's jumping in here, and he's saying, Kenny from the Fantastic K&K show says, I hope Russ cooks for you guys this year, but I don't know. This Denver Broncos Roundup is cooking for sure. But I do know this Denver Broncos Roundup is cooking for sure. Thank you so much, Kenny. Appreciate it. Got another Go Broncos coming in here. Appreciate you very much. Again, apologize for all the Facebook user comments, and I'm not checking my comments on the side this evening. So appreciate you guys jumping in as we're about to jump out. Game's about ready to kick off. It's on NFL Network. If you're in that Denver market, if you're in that Arizona market, obviously you're going to be able to pick it up as well. Hope you guys all enjoy the show. Last thing, just special teams, guys. Special teams coverage has been stressed throughout training camp. Being there, I saw it a ton. So returners obviously Mims has been right up there, but one of the surprise ones that I saw back as well in training camp was JL Skinner. We saw Kendall Hinton back there, but obviously our returner position is going to be key for us, and special teams is something that Sean Payton stresses. Last and not least, the kicking battle, guys. The kicking battle is real. We let go of Brandon McManus, so we have a kicking battle about us. Let's see how that plays out as well. My final player to watch, guys. Former Denver Bronco from last year, wide receiver, made it to the field first every single day at training camp last year. Spent a little time in the USFL because he was cut by the Denver Broncos. Is now trying to earn a spot on the Arizona Cardinals. Caden Davis, just keep an eye out for him. I'm kind of rooting for him on the side. He was a fantastic Denver Bronco. Unfortunately, we had to part ways with him, but I hope him all the best. Good luck to Caden Davis as well. So, guys, hope everyone enjoys the game. It should be a fantastic one. Arizona is not expected to play a whole lot of starters. Arizona Cardinals are not expected to be a whole bunch of a team this year either. Kyler Murray out, so obviously rehabbing. Colt McCoy is going to be, looks like they're going to be their starter, so I don't expect to see a whole lot of him. Expect to be their third round choice. Third round, number 3 quarterback will probably be playing against us. So should hopefully we come out looking very good. We should be looking very good. Thank you guys, everybody who joined me this evening. Like I said, run up to the game. It's just about ready to start. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks for joining us. Brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Check out Willow Seasonings and Blends at willowseasonings.com. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Until then, let's go Broncos. Let's have a good game. See you soon.